This is WAEC June 2020 General Mathematics Paper 2, and we are answering question number 4. And the question reads the total surface area of a cone, and that cone has length, height L, and the base radius R is 224 pi centimeter squared. This gives the total surface area of that very cone. And if the ratio of a radius, that is the base radius, to this length height L is equals to 2:5, the question asks is to find question number A. You are asked to find the correct one decimal place the value of R, that is the base radius of the cone. And the question number B, you are asked to find the correct to the nearest whole number, the volume of that very cone, and you are asked to take a pi as 22/7. So let's attempt to answer this very question together. Solution to the problem, what you do first is to sketch that very cone. The cone has length, height L, and base radius R. If I now sketch it, it will look like this. This is the base radius, and this is the slant height, and the vertical height of the cone is now denoted by small letter h. This is your cone. Next, remember the formula for the total surface area of a cone is given by pi r into L plus R. So you go back to the question, the ratio of the base radius and the slant height is given as 2:5. That means if you divide R by L, you now have a fraction 2/5. You can now cross multiply and make L subject so that you can now have L in terms of R. You can now go back to this very formula to substitute so that your unknowns now reduces by 1. So cross multiply, you now have L equals to 5R all over 2. So you can now go back to the formula and substitute where you have L. You can now put there 5R all over 2. So substituting the total surface area given in the question 224 pi centimeter square. And the left hand side equals to pi R into, instead of this L, you now have 5R all over 2, then plus R. Adding 5R over 2 by this R correctly using LCM 2, that gives answer 7R all over 2. If we continue, you can see I have 224 pi by the left, and by the right I have pi multiplied by R multiplied by 7R all over 2. This pi by the right will now cancel the pi by the left. So you now have 224, pi cancelled out. Multiplying R by 7R all over 2, that gives answer 7R square all over 2. There you can make R square subject of the formula. So cross multiplying, you now have R squared to be equals to 224 multiplied by 2. That gives answer 448. Divide the result by 7. This will now be your R square. So dividing 448 by 7 correctly gives answer 64. That will be your R square. And to get R, will now take square root of both sides. Square root of R square will give you R, and square root of 64 will give answer 8.0 centimeter. So we move to question number B. Question number B, that we asked to find the volume of this very correct to the nearest whole number. The formula for volume of a cone is given as 1 over 3 pi R square h. What is lacking in this very formula is the height, that is the vertical height of the cone, and this h. So we have to get it. So going back to the drawing, I have my radius here as 8, and my slant height is not known. But this triangle that you can see is a right angle triangle. If you can now apply Pythagoras theorem, you can get h. Let me start with L first. L, remember you have expression for L or equation for L in terms of R, as L equals to 5R all over 2. Look at it here. So substituting R by 8, you now have L equals to 5 multiplied by 8 all over 2. That gives L as to 20 centimeters. Now applying Pythagoras, you now have the slant height as the 20. You have the radius as 8. You can now find this perpendicular distance. So using Pythagoras, you now have h equals to square root of 20 square minus the 8 square. And if you now find the 20 square and 8 square, subtract the two values correctly, and it takes the square root of that, you have 18.33 centimeters as the vertical height of the cone. So I can now go back to the formula for finding volume to substitute the H and R. So you now have 1 over 3 multiplied by 22 over 7, the value of pi asked to use in the question, multiplied by 8 square, that is your R square, multiplied by 18.33, the value of your H. So multiplying this correctly, you now have 1228.982 centimeter cube, and the question asks is to round or give answer correct to the nearest whole number. So this number, when approximated to nearest whole number, gives you 1229 centimeter cube. This question B has been answered. So let me just share with you quickly the mark distribution for this very question as it is there in the marking scheme. The very first mark is bonus 1 mark. And this bonus 1 mark is writing the relationship between L and R correctly. L equals to 5R all over 2. You have this bonus 1 mark. Substituting that L with the 5R all over 2 correctly in the formula for total surface area, you have this method 1 mark. When you now make R square subject of the formula, you have R square equals to 448 all over 7. In attempt to get your R, you have this method 1 mark. And when you now have your R exactly as 8.0 centimeter, you have this accuracy 1 mark. Writing just R equals to 8 centimeter, you may not have this accuracy 1 mark because the question asked to write your answer just to one decimal place. So even if it is 0, there must be a digit in the very first place after the decimal point. So moving to question number B. Getting your L, that is the slant height of the cone. Getting that slant height of the cone as 20 centimeter, you have this accuracy 1 mark, and also getting the height using the Pythagoras theorem as 18.33 centimeters, you have this bonus 1 mark. And this when you now substitute the value of R and the vertical height correctly in the formula for finding volume, you have this method 1 mark. And when you now simplify and arrive at the final answer rounded to the nearest whole number as 1229 centimeter cube, you have this accuracy 1 mark. So if everything is correct in this very question, you have